This is the 40 Days for Life podcast with your host, Sean Carney.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today on the 40 Days for Life podcast. I'm Sean Carney, the president of 40 Days for Life, and your host for this podcast, which is dedicated to helping you end abortion where you live. And today we will cover a very heartfelt topic on family as we journey together through Advent and are preparing our hearts to celebrate the birth of our Lord on Christmas. And somebody who does not believe in preparing his heart, and in fact does not prepare his heart and does not want to celebrate Christmas, but wants Advent to go straight into Lent, is of course Mr. Steve Garland, joining me from Wisconsin.
I'm only happy when I'm sad.
It's what Chesterton said about the Irish. All their wars are merry and all their songs are sad. And Ramona, who's always merry, is also here.
I am.
You're a very cheerful person.
I am, yeah, full of joy.
Yes. Well, why are you looking at me like that? And I'm going to kill you later. We'll see how joyful you are. Oh, my word. So, how's Advent going, Steve? How's your sadness? You seem
living the dream.
You seem delighted. We've had this debate, and I have a controversial situation which we can't disclose on the podcast. But when will your Christmas tree go up?
The weekend before Christmas.
Which really works out this year. Christmas is a Friday. Do I have that right? No. It's a Wednesday.
It's possible it may be 2 weekends before Christmas then.
Yeah. Okay. It's up now.
Better be more. We're going to need more than 3 days.
This podcast is coming out on December 9th.
Yes.
Which is, for the Catholic world, the feast of Juan Diego, who Our Lady Guadalupe appeared to. Don't you love it how they do this? So he's on the 9th. A couple days later, December 12th, Our Lady Guadalupe. It just kind of lines up. Our Lady Guadalupe is catching steam. Okay, she's like Trump in like October of 2015.
Don't
I'm
send
sure
your
she
feedback to podcast@40daysforlife.com.
Our Lady Guadalupe the polls look good. She's winning in all the polls. She's doing good. She's crushing Our Lady of Fatima. Nobody cares about France anymore. Okay, they care
Crushing
about
the snake.
Mexico. But there's an interest in her. I think because America has gotten more religious the last couple of years, but Trump started tweeting out the Our Lady Guadalupe image, and that kind of, he had some, smart Catholic on his social media. But it's interesting because I've had one person who's not Catholic, right? Because non-Catholics should be like, okay, it's weird, or we don't understand it, or she appeared to Juan Diego, and they have devotion to her. Great, not our thing, but congrats. But I've had one person that was like, it's just BS. It's all made up. Okay. Which as Catholics, you don't have to believe in the apparitions, just for those who are wondering, like producer John. But even he believes in Our Lady Guadalupe. He's a bad Baptist. But I said, that's interesting. I've just never had that, being raised in East Texas, where most of our parish was Hispanic. And so Our Lady Guadalupe, that's just how that was part of our devotion as young Catholics growing up. I've never had anybody just say it's nonsense. And I said, okay,
This is a Catholic or a non-Catholic?
Non-Catholic.
Okay.
Because the non-Catholics are like, yeah, great. You do you. A little bit of that. They don't really, my encounter is, you worship the Pope, you worship Mary, these hardcore sort of criticisms of Catholic. You're trying to earn your way into heaven, brother. You don't need to do that. All that kind of stuff where you have debate scripture. But the apparitions, they think it's strange that we have devotion to Our Lady of Fatima or Lourdes or Guadalupe. But to me, it's never been a point of hostility, we'll say, compared to other issues.
Until now.
So I don't really know Our Lady of Guadalupe apologetics other than, I guess, just historical facts. So I said, okay. So if she didn't appear to Juan Diego, like if that didn't happen and he didn't go back with the tilma saying, here it is, this just happened, and the roses and all that, how in the world did Mexico become Catholic in 2 weeks? Like, what else happened? And he goes, yeah, I never thought about that. Like it was like a real response of like, oh, because if that didn't happen, it's like you can debate whether a football team wins because of their turnover ratio or their third down conversion and just go and look at the stats and kind of determine it. But you can't say, you can't remove all that and then be like, well, why'd they win the game and just have no answer? It's like, it was pagan. They were sacrificing children. The Aztecs were there. It was hell on earth. Maybe one of the reasons God sent Mary. And they all converted in 2 weeks. It's the most radical transformation of any country in history, I think. The shortest transformation for sure. How did that happen if the apparition is nonsense?
Mm-hmm. All of the Americas.
Yeah, she's patroness of all the Americas. So that was not in our notes. I don't know how we got off on this.
Because it's the 9th.
Because it's the 9th. That's what it is. And my son Declan's birthday. So
my son Benedict's birthday.
I know it. We have a lot of crossover, and you share a birthday with my second oldest, Bailey.
Yes.
Something going on here. Birthday crossovers. And we discovered we're related. So,
as Tom Cruise said in Top Gun Maverick, one of life's mysteries, sir.
a great line. Man, I'm so proud of you. Very good. You quoted Top Gun too. In December, mind you. We're not even near Memorial Day, which is the season when that movie starts taking off. Wow, Steve. Okay, I take back all the negative things I've said about you. Most of them. Okay, we have listener feedback.
Listener feedback. A lot of it all from one listener today because she gave us a lot. This is from Elaine, who has many wonderful things. Please excuse the ramblings, she begins. I don't think there's any ramblings in here. She says, first, I very much enjoy the podcast, banter, and lady panelist included.
Another sexist listener of the 40 Days for Life podcast.
The Sean's Trump impersonation counter for whatever episode that was on was comedic gold. I still think we need a clip show of every introduction by Sean of Steve. Unpopular opinion.
Hold on, back up on that. Did we reveal that on air?
That we were joking
That was
doing?
an idea.
Yes.
Oh, we did.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought that was some mind reader stuff. Whose idea was it? Jill's?
I think so.
Okay, we'll give it to Jill. She'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
So it was Jill's idea, maybe, and to have just all of my intros of you, which are
A show.
right.
Yeah.
A whole show.
Like someone who's never creepy, Steve Carlin. Someone who never has done a day of work in his life, Steve Carlin. All those things.
This is. I'm starting to see there's an impersonation. You're doing that, grinding your teeth, brushing them in the morning. And my co-host, I strangle him, but Ramona's in the way. That's a lot of them. And your intros, as you know, just come naturally. And I think it started when we started the podcast because I was introducing you with your like title and crap. And I just was bored with it.
Yeah.
So we just skipped it, and now we get whatever.
Just insults.
There have been some non-insulting.
Once in a while.
Once in a while.
Hey, the episode where Steve's grandfather got shot in Normandy will say something nice.
Your grandpa has to survive D-Day and live and have 8 children and die at 94 years of age. And then you get one nice intro for that episode, and then that's it. I did say in that I think that we were glad that he escaped the war and had all their children because we're thankful for your life most of the time.
Yes.
It wasn't completely 100%. Okay, keep going.
Unpopular opinion. I don't think Steve's taste in food is all that weird. But you can judge by my own eccentric top 5 lists.
Is this a northerner? Do we know where this person lives?
Florida.
Not really a state, no culture, just sort of everybody moves there. So, okay, I understand.
So she's got her top 5 chips, which is something we did in the podcast. Number 5, Fritos. Number 4, Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips. Number 3.
Ooh, good. Great number 4. That's a good random number 4 that doesn't get enough credit. Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips are amazing.
Number 3, Original Beaver Nuggets.
Oh, so she throws Buc-ee's in there. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's not a chip.
That's not a, yeah.
But anyways.
Number 2, Peanut Puffs. Have you heard of those?
I have heard of them. I've never had one. I feel like I would, if the word peanut is involved, I'm.
Are those like the circus peanuts?
No, those
Puffy?
are goobers.
She said they're hard to find. She's found them occasionally, seasonally for Oktoberfest, and sometimes in the international foods aisle. This is mysterious. Tastes like peanut butter flavored Cheetos. Don't knock it till you try it.
Peanut butter flavored Cheetos. I would not knock that at all.
Number 1, white cheddar beaver nuggets. So may not be chips, I guess, but
That's really strange for a Floridian. I know Buc-ee's is in Florida. There's one in Daytona Beach, and then there's one right when you cross over into Florida at the border after Mobile. I've been to all these. This is ridiculous. But that's just funny. The beaver nuggets is not a chip, though.
well, even though she may not be from Texas, home of Buc-ee's, everything we've read so far shows that she is a woman of culture.
She's a woman of great faith.
Yeah.
I love her to death.
Top 5 cereals. 5 Lucky Charms with rainbow sprinkles. I did not know those existed. Probably would have made my list if I had. She sent me a link to Walmart where you can order them.
She sent a link?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Elaine.
Elaine. I love you, Elaine.
Yeah.
This is an unbelievable email.
True American hero. We'll do
Is this all in one email, or you put
Oh, yeah,
this
it's a big
together?
one, yeah.
Oh, this is in the link to the Cinnamon Toast Crunch at Walmart is in there.
That came separately because I said, I've not heard of these. I very much want to have
Oh,
these.
okay. That was the back and forth.
Yeah.
See what happens when you email podcast at 4daysforlife.com.
We may actually engage with you.
Amazing things are happening.
Some of the emails we can't read.
4 Reese's Puffs. 3 Blueberry Frosted Shredded Wheat.
Ooh.
2 Honey Bunches of Oats with strawberries. And number
Yes.
1, French Toast Crunch.
Okay, I've seen the French Toast Crunch.
Now I want to guess her age.
This is dangerous.
Okay, so we don't know. This is going to be fun. Since you said that, so I'm picturing, this is terrible because I guess of stereotypes. I'm picturing an older woman because she's in Florida. But I think this person is like 23 years old. She's young at heart.
I don't know her exact age.
Elaine, send us your age. And then we just add, don't women still lie about their age? That didn't get woke. That's still part of our society. So we add, what, 10 years?
I'm going like early 30s.
No.
You think she's mature?
She either has to be an old
she's not
lady.
matured
She
past-
has to be an old lady who's just who is fun, by the way. Like if she is 60 or over and she's trying the French toast cereal, this is one cool lady. Okay? Especially for her age. So that sounds so condescending, but I'm trying to be respectful. But if she's older and she's like the cheddar
She's a
beaver
cool-
nuggets,
cool
yeah,
boomer?
she's a cool boomer. All the boomers are cool. They were probably a little too cool at certain points, and that ruined this country. A lot of drugs, a lot of things. But if she's the 5-star cinnamon toast crunch, whatever, the stuff we've never heard of, if she's like 78 years old and she's eating that, that's awesome.
So I don't know how old she is, and I'm not going to speculate, but I know she's not a senior citizen.
Okay, all right. So my gut feeling is she's in her 20s.
So you may remember when we talked about cereals, I ranked my number 1 as chocolate marshmallow mateys in a bag. And you're like, what is that? You're
Right.
not allowed on the podcast anymore. I think I got suspended for a while. And she said that she also grew up on Malt-O-Meal cereal. That's the manufacturer. She said, so I immediately knew what chocolate marshmallow mateys were and can confirm that they are fire. They did not make my top 5 because I don't eat
She's
cocoa.
Gen X.
She's under 30. No, they are fire. Is that Gen Z?
I don't know, but I feel like she's
Gen X would be gold from Seinfeld. They're gold, Jerry.
I don't know.
Or she did say that the Trump impersonation was gold. She could be Gen X or Gen Z.
It's a new special.
It's the multi-meal thing. That's a Gen X thing, in my opinion.
Okay.
In my opinion.
It's a new feature on the 40 Days for Life podcast. Send us emails and we will guess
Guess
your
your age.
Yeah, or we used to do just name and town, but we need name, town, and age. Because especially when you're going to comment on banter or pop culture, which of course, what else is there to comment on in this podcast? We need your age. Because especially if this were movies, we would definitely need to know our age. Of course, it'd probably be easier to guess.
The chocolate marshmallow mateys did not make her top 5 because she does not eat Cocoa Puffs on the account of, quote, I own rabbits. If you know, you know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what that means at all. Do rabbits eat them? Are they poisonous to rabbits?
I may be
Maybe
wrong.
because the rabbit poos and it looks like Cocoa Puffs.
That's an interesting theory.
That's funny. I'm shifting more towards she's a boomer again.
I'm shifting to Gen X because we're cool. We're the coolest generation.
No, you're not.
Yes, we
Everybody
are.
makes fun of y'all.
No,
you're
Gen
not
Xers
cool.
are the best.
No, you're not.
Yes,
You're
we
not the
are,
boomers
Sean.
who had the cool cars and music and cocaine parties.
I don't know. You guys saw Pearl Jam when it was.
Yeah.
That's why I'm cool.
The millennials are cool. The Steven generation is the coolest.
No.
We had the best movies ever. Producer John, what do you? You're Gen X, but you look like a boomer. So what? You got the best of the worlds because you have a ponytail. Like he's got a ponytail. He's done a lot of drugs. You're Gen X.
Oh yeah, we're cool.
Thank you. We're the coolest.
Cool music, best music.
We gave the world grunge.
You're not the best. The boomers had the best music and the best cars. You don't win on best. You had
said
Huey
you
Lewis in the. What's Huey Lewis doing right now? Like what is he doing? He's watching reruns of Wheel of Fortune.
We had Boy George.
Don't. Please never
We
bring
gave
up
the
Boy
world
George ever
Pearl
again.
Jam and Nirvana.
That's the Nirvana is ours.
Nope,
We're
it's
Nirvana.
mine.
Pearl Jam. Y'all, I won't even give y'all REM. We had REM. You want to get in on this band
get
stuff?
REM too.
We had the best climax Metallica, for sure. The 90s.
That's still Gen X.
When did Black come out? 91?
Early, I think.
91.
91.
And then Fuel comes out in like 96 and everything. This is Metallica now.
But when you said Black, I was thinking Pearl Jam's song Black.
Okay.
So it's Gen X. We're the coolest. We
I had this
we handed it all
conversation-
down to you.
I was at the home of a friend who's someone who's a friend to all of us. I'll leave nameless for the purposes of this show. And I said, I'm a millennial, but I would prefer to identify as Gen X because I do think you guys are cooler. And it became very clear to me that I was my attempts to be trans Gen X had failed because they had all seen Pearl Jam live and I was way too young to have seen Pearl Jam.
Yeah, there is a cutoff of, where you're just, or they saw Back to the Future 1 in the theater. And
I saw it
You and
again.
I were like 3.
Right.
So,
We just went to see it in the theater too.
Okay.
It's 40th anniversary. I took our kids.
I know,
you missed it.
I missed it, and I took them to see Lord of the Rings when it came out, and I took them to see Jaws when it came out in the summer in the theaters. That was awesome, by the way. Rocky IV is coming out in also soon, so if you want to go see that.
Gen X. Please,
If you
Eileen,
have to say
please.
you're the coolest, you're just not. And look,
It's because they've been getting ignored for their entire life. I've heard the whole spiel.
Look, the boomers, from the reverts to the perverts, ruin this country, okay? I've been very hard on the boomers, but that's usually the cool kid class, has all the bad people in it. And so I just give them, I nod to them that nobody wants a 1993 Corvette, right? They want a 1968 Corvette. And so I totally understand that. But Gen X, here's a little Dave Ramsey statistic. He did a study at his company. And Dave Ramsey says that millennials are I don't know how they track all this, but the millennials are the hardest working generation since the World War II generation. Like driven, work ethic, and all that. So
That's
Steve and I work harder than you.
Okay.
That was my way.
That's fair.
I don't think it's true, actually.
Elaine. I said Eileen, but it's Elaine.
Yeah, I've got one last point before we actually talk about pro-life stuff that I can.
This is pro-life stuff.
Elaine did us a great service. She identified some glitch that I had not noticed, where not all of our episodes on YouTube were populating on our podcast playlist. So they were all publishing on YouTube, but if you listened on the playlist, you wouldn't necessarily see every episode. And she said, she was saying which ones she heard and which ones she missed, and she said, Billy got the chop, made the cut. All puns intended. Thank you, Elaine.
Elaine,
great
God
American.
bless you. You are a wonderful person and a great American. Oh, man.
Also tech savvy, so not a boomer.
Yeah, she's not a boomer.
Elaine, you're Gen X. I
And
know it.
If Elaine were smart, she would just say, keep trying to guess my age. I'm not giving it to you. But if you want to send in your age, Elaine, please do. And if you want us to lie about it, like we can keep it private. You can be like, what if she's like 19 years old? Which with the cereal.
She could totally lie. She could ask us to lie about it, but then we could say Ramona was the closest.
This is a good opportunity to make fun of Gen Z. Here's the reason she's probably not Gen Z. They don't have the attention span to write an email that long to a podcast.
Yeah, that's fair. There were no emojis.
So anyways,
We've narrowed it down. She's somewhere between 18 and 80. We've done put on our detective hat.
Post on the YouTube channel how old you think Elaine is. Just put it down there. Just throw a number, 27. Throw it out there, okay? I'm going with 22. I think she's 22 years old. So, or as Michael Irvin would say about Emmett, deuce. So I think she's 22. Go ahead, put it on there, and maybe we'll get the real answer from Elaine or a relative of hers. All right. This is going to be fun. The parenting moments that make or break you. So we're breaking our own rule, which is there's a lot of obnoxious people out there that give parenting advice, okay? And the reason that I have an issue with this is because when Mary Lisa and I were going through marriage prep, and of course we're dating, we want to have a lot of kids, and we're like looking up to all these people. How do we be good parents? Although I don't know if we just ever asked ourselves that. But, people give you parenting books, okay? It's a very aggressive gift, okay? It probably has good intentions. But then the internet ruined that because you Google the authors and their kids are on heroin and in prison. And you're like, well, why would I listen to you about whether you spank your kid or take away their candy or talk to them or whatever? So it was just kind of interesting.
And then there's rumors too where and this guy's kids all became bank robbers. And you don't really know if it's true, but you hate everything from the book so much that you just choose to believe it.
You just choose to believe it. And then also part of you is like, that's not his fault. So they became bank robbers. Maybe they were great citizens from, 0 to 18. But Matt Walsh, actually, I heard him make fun of himself once because he's like, I was the guy that had a kid and wrote a parenting book 6 months later. And so
it's a first cousin of the lady who's been married for 6 months and writes the book about everything she learned about marriage.
Yeah. Or you actually are a very good, one of the mystical, surprising, and perhaps even disturbing facts about you is that you're a really good chef.
Never heard that described as disturbing before, but great. Is it because I'm from the Dahmer state? Is that what this is about?
Yes, that doesn't help, frankly. But it's also just when I'm around you a lot and I talk to you a lot, but I've never been in a kitchen with you.
True.
And so I have this image of just you in an apron, chopping an onion, and it bothers me.
I can't even walk into this room without tripping over the lights. And then you're like, how's this guy working with a knife?
How's he not? You were taking out an index finger.
Yeah.
It's not that.
Okay.
And it's not like, ooh, Steve has a knife, he's a serial killer. It's not that. It's just you tasting something and you're like, no, we need more oregano. Like you're yelling at Laura.
When people start talking about umami, what is umami?
Yeah, because you've used some words around me that I've kind of seen on a menu, and it's impressive, particularly when we're talking about Italian food, or as we say, Italian food. But I've never heard anybody talk like that unless they're on the Food Network. But he would say something like, we made with this marsala sauce. And then I'm impressed, and it kind of bothers me. So anyways, I'm not saying you're gay. That's not it. But it's one of those where it's just like.
As my wife once said, I don't care enough about my appearance for anyone to think that
I think it's. There's another side to you that you're passionate about that actually one day I will benefit from and come to your house and you can cook some great Italian food. But I don't know. It just doesn't fit. And I know I probably have something that you just don't know about me, and you're like,
sure.
Sean's really into that, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. But anyways, with that said,
yeah.
Okay, I don't know where I was going with the cooking, but Steve is an excellent chef, and that creeps me out. But
parenting books.
Oh, parenting books. Okay. Oh, sorry. This was my analogy. Is some people get into I didn't do this when I started frying the turkeys for Thanksgiving. The first time I did it was 2017. That was the year that my world changed on this. So I fry a turkey, in the privacy of my own home for my own family, and it is the best turkey I've ever had by far. It's awesome. And I know I'm not a turkey expert. Nobody can really screw this up. It was my idea to do a lot of the Cajun seasonings and all that, but I wasn't going to be that guy. But it took me like another, 5 or 6 years. And if people would bring up fried turkeys, I would be like, let me tell you what you need to do and just be that guy. But I didn't want to be that guy after. And it's kind of like you making a great Italian meal. And it's not like you called me and said, last week I tried making this Italian dish and it was awesome. How does Mary Lisa make her pot roast? I could probably make it better. You don't do that, but I'm sure you do it now because you've been cooking Italian food for a long time now. But you can get in too soon. That's what we're doing with parenting. We're getting in too soon. My oldest is 20. Yours is 18.
My oldest is 30.
Your oldest is 30. We're gonna get some stories out of you. And so this is, we're going to do our best here to keep this entertaining, but know that we're not taking ourselves that seriously because I have 8 kids. They could all end up being drug lords somewhere. So I don't know.
If we don't laugh, we'll cry.
If we don't laugh, we'll cry. So that's on them. All right. When there's spilled milk. So in my book, To the Heart of the Matter, I talked about how the big picture things don't bother me. Like I can sit down and explain abortion or Nazis to my kids. I can't explain like teething. Like that has to be a cruel, evil God to make a baby suffer like that. This is where the atheists are terrible at their arguments, Like the baby has to suffer. Your fingernail grows. Your hair grows. It doesn't hurt. I'll never understand teething. It's one of my questions for God. I get the Nazis. I understand like evil in the world. I don't understand why the innocent little baby has to go through the teething process. So that bothers me. And like spilled milk, dairy in general creeps me out. I love to eat it, but it has to be in a certain setting. Like if I went to your house, I wouldn't have creamer or milk. Okay. And you could have bought it and be in the kitchen and you put it in the fridge. It's brand new from the store. I won't eat it.
As the great Ron Burgundy once said, milk
was a bad choice. Yeah. That scene didn't help my weird dairy thing either.
So darn hot.
Milk was a bad choice. So the whole spilled milk thing, that's kind of what bothers me. Every parent has what's bothered them, where it's like, I've threatened like a 12-year-old, you will have a sippy cup. I don't even care, And so you have to know like what really kind of sets you off. And those are the defining moments, because if you go berserk on your kid over something that's just not a big deal, you get the whole, jeez, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with mom. They're crazy. They can't handle anything. And I think that's always been a fear of mine.
Have you had the instances, though? We had a stretch where there was the over-under on spills per dinner was probably 1.5. Like we were averaging more than 1 per dinner.
Is there a problem child with the spills? Like is somebody bringing the average up?
It's like they rotate. Like this is Catherine's month. I'll spill all the time.
Ours is sweet Celinda, and she is the sweetest girl.
Okay.
She's too young to listen to the podcast, so I can say this. Of course, she'll listen to it 10 years, end up in therapy. But bless her heart, she just spills. And the other kids now comment on it because it's obvious. And she's sweet. Like, she's very sweet. She's our sweetest child. And she's like, I'm sorry. I just got excited about my lemonade, And you're like, the lemonade's good, but yours is on the floor. So, yeah.
I can't relate to the spilled milk thing. Our kids really didn't spill anything.
Well, aren't y'all just perfect? Ramona?
You
What are you
write
calling
that.
our kids stupid?
I was going to say, they all seem
Like,
to choke
didn't you-
on their food. That was what I had to deal with.
That's what I'm always terrified of. And we have did you have the choker? I don't know
All
what
of my
it's
kids
called.
the Heimlich?
Oh,
I know what you're talking about.
I don't
No,
know
I
what it's
do
called.
not
Some
have
kind of
that.
device.
It's a
Yeah,
device, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like sold on infomercials, I'm sure. But if you buy one, you get two. But I just saw the videos. They had the live cam of kids choke, and I'm terrified of this. So I'm always freaking out and trying to watch the kids and all this. But they had the videos. I don't know the name of it. It's a great
I know what you're talking
guy
about.
who invented it. But they show the little kid joking at the restaurant and they get the thing and you put it over their mouth. And you can operate it in a panic. The way that they designed it was you just have to be out of your mind for it not to work, right? You just set it there and the piece of food comes out. So, yeah, we have those in the car and at the house and all that. But your kids never spilled anything?
I mean, I'm sure they did, but it wasn't like a perpetual issue where it was just no more different than me accidentally tipping something over.
Okay,
it was
so
like
it was a surprise when it happened.
it was not a
Okay.
big.
Whereas you and I are just rolling our eyes like, here we go again.
Yeah, and sometimes there's the delayed reaction spill. Like someone just spills it and then just like we're not gonna notice or something like that. And you see the other kids like, did something happen here? Oh, is anyone gonna get some paper towel? Is anyone gonna get a napkin or a washcloth?
Well, and then
Now that he says that, I'm just like, maybe I'm just desensitized to it at this point, because
You know how I'm telling you about you in the kitchen kind of for some reason creeps me out. Now that I'm showing you should be creeped out by me. I can't do like wet napkins, like our newspaper or paper in general. Wet paper creeps me out. So when you're at the restaurant, so like if we're at home and our kids spill something, I go get like an old beach towel. Like I go crazy. Like I'm not getting the 10 paper towels. Like we're covering the whole thing up and then it's going straight into the lunch.
Because then you're picking it up and it's tearing and it's dripping and
It's probably got a noodle in there. There's some kind of food floating around. No, it's
the backwash.
Okay.
Yep.
Just take it easy here and breathe. I already said noodle. That made the viewer
I was trying to kick it up a notch.
Yeah, you did. The bile. Ugh. So those moments, and this is, of course, speaking to those who have little kids or are taking care of your grandkids, which I'm anticipating, first off, is going to be awesome. You have, how many grandkids?
One.
Do you have? You have one.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this whole new level, right, of like, life is never the same. But I would think, don't you get out of having small kids shape?
Oh, yeah.
And so they wear you out more.
Yeah.
You're not 28 anymore. Okay.
But there's a two-year age gap between my youngest and my grandchild.
You're in little kid
I'm
shape.
just like-
You're like Tom Brady. You just keep playing and keep winning.
I'm like, I pause and I'm like, how old am I? Why do I feel like I'm this old, but in reality I'm this old? And it's got to be the kids that make me feel like I'm still in my 20s, but my body says, honey, you're got one foot in the grave.
Yeah.
As Toby Keith once said, I ain't as good as I once
I ain't
was.
as good as I once.
I was thinking more Garth Brooks.
Much too young.
Much too young to feel this damn old. Okay, so how we respond to that, whatever it is, this in the heart of the matter, I talk about spilled milk and all of this and having kids. And the beautiful thing about kids is the patience that I'm not a patient person, I don't think. I am much more patient today than I certainly was at 22 years old before I started having kids. So I think the patience and the perspective of just things not being a big deal. All right. When kids misbehave.
Ooh, this is a controversial one.
This is a controversial one. I'll start off the controversy. This assumes that your kids misbehave. If you don't think that your kids misbehave, that is your misbehavior. I made a funny joke that died one time.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm so proud of this joke. And Mary Lisa was like shaking her head at the table. Like,
We'll leave judgment on it to Elaine.
Elaine, you tell me if this is funny. I thought it was very funny. We're at our parish dinner, okay, for Annunciation. We have a gala. And we had Mattress Mac as our speaker. Wonderful Mattress Mac. A lot of people know who he is. And he goes to our parish. He's Catholic. He goes to our parish. So we're going to honor him. And anyways, I'm the MC because Father Felix is like, hey, you're going to MC and ask for money and all that. I'm like, yep, great. So I start off with a series of jokes, which are all funny and are all killing it, and everybody's laughing. And then I talk about how our first years at Annunciation were great. I know because I could see the whole church because I was in the back of it holding, one of our crying kids. And it's like, if your kid is crying during Mass and you take them out of Mass, you know who you are. And if your kid is crying in mass and you don't take them out of mass, you don't know who you are. But we know who you are. Thank you, Steve. Dead.
Oh, no.
Dead. Nobody got it. Why? You're shaking your head. Is it offensive?
No, it's not offensive.
You don't get the joke?
I get it.
You didn't laugh out loud like Steve did. Now you're laughing. So it just died. And that happens to me like once every 500. I think I'm a funny person. People tell me that I'm very funny. and it just died. And so I sat down and Mary Lisa was like, you offend people. They don't laugh. Like she's listing off the problems with the jokes, like as I'm eating my salad. And so, but I thought that I got it because if you don't take your kid out, and it's a problem at our parish, okay? And I can't say anything because I'm the pro-life guy. And it's like, well, you don't like the screaming babies, you know. And so, and I don't, not in mass. And we were very good. We were probably over the top. Like the kid gets the hiccups. We're like, you're out, you know. And they're like, you would take your child out of the presence of God because they were making noise. Yes.
I didn't laugh because I don't know how to feel. Like it's funny, but it makes me want to cry.
Right.
Because it was just really tough trying to bring your kids to mass when they're being disruptive. And you look around and you look at everybody and you're like, why is it that my kids are the only ones that are making noise and being disruptive? Why isn't anyone else's kids acting like this?
And I feel totally confident bragging, and we have witnesses now, but my kids did hit a certain age and they're fine. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I think what helped with the boys is when they became altar servers. Because Seamus would kind of sit there when he was like 7, right? And I'm like, be quiet. Then, shut up. Oh, sorry. You know, and it's just like that constant thing. Then he serves on the altar, and he's up there like Padre Pio. And I'm like, what happened? I guess it was just I'm being called to do something. I'm on the altar. I got to behave. Or just
it's a rough season.
It's a weird, and
rough
especially with boys,
season, yeah.
they need the attention taken up.
I thought that I was a conscientious parent on this topic, but it turns out I was the second half of your joke, allegedly.
Oh,
because
no.
I thought it was good. Like you don't know. Some guy came up and he had it printed and ready to go. So obviously he came to mass planning to approach us and gave us an article. I think it was about kids behaving at mass. And I think the title was Mass Hysteria.
Oh, that's gold. So we had, I got to think about who listens to this podcast. We were given advice to have Mary Lisa and there's a homeschool mom. They have 9, like credible moms. They have a ton of kids, okay? And they wrote a document on taking your kids out. Because the priest can't get up there because then you're a hater, you're an angry man, whatever. I really feel bad for a lot of priests because some parents just won't take their kids out. They're throwing a stuffed animal in the aisle. They're running up and down, and they're kind of like laughing and snickering. I'm like, this isn't funny. This is irreverent. Take your kid out. And distracting, right?
If it gets really bad, sometimes it's funny.
Sometimes it's funny. It has to be like really out of control, where it's like, man, you have no idea what a horrible dad you are. You know, it's actually giving me a lot of pleasure. But that going back, okay, there's the mass thing of taking your kids out, but when to like how strict to be, you know. So
sometimes they ambush you though. They're being all quiet and they're just biding their time. When we were kids, my little brother Cameron, who you've met, we were at mass and the Lord's Prayer said, and deliver us from evil. And at 3 years old, he shouts out, "Evel Knievel!"
That guy rules. That's awesome.
Jump Snake Canyon in the motorcycle.
That's funny though. That's something like the priest or people would laugh at, you know. But yeah, I love stuff like that. That's hysterical. If our kids were really bad in mass when they were little, we came home and made them kneel on the concrete in the driveway when they got home. So there's my type in. Sean's
nice.
Crazy. Yeah. And that comes
It worked?
Yeah.
Great.
Well, you were supposed to be reverend in mass.
No one's handing you a mass hysteria article.
Yeah, buddy. You're crazy article. You were reverent. You weren't reverend in mass, and God wants our best. We want to do our best. You need to practice. So we're going to kneel on the fireplace, like the concrete, the brick of the fireplace. My mother-in-law, who's, as y'all know, is like the sweetest person on earth. This is kind of a ripoff of what she did. If the kids were fighting, like the little kids are fighting, they have to kneel and touch noses.
I like
If they're
that.
bickering, because they start laughing inevitably. They get mad, and then they start laughing.
It's like the get along shirt. Have you ever seen that on the internet?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. That was our level of discipline. We spanked our kids. We didn't have to a lot. I don't know if we can say that on the podcast. Is that okay, Producer John?
As long as you don't spank us.
Okay, that's right. I'm not even gonna touch you. I'm afraid of you. But when they were like really little, like little stuff. But it's not like that. I say because we did it, it wasn't needed later on in life. But are you a spanker?
I don't know if I want to say on this episode.
Okay, I'm out there, and you're leaving me behind. Ramona, come on.
Plead the fifth.
Spatulas.
Chanclas.
You're
No,
Mexican.
I'm just kidding.
Yo, those
No,
Mexican
no.
mamas.
I never really had to. I know we had,
Yeah.
we probably did, a handful of times, throughout the years, but I never really had to,
Yeah,
fully.
I didn't have to. With
I
all my
remember
kids.
getting the belt once when I
Seamus
was a kid.
got spanked. For
I
sure.
probably deserved it more than that. But
Yeah. My girls are all good. I guess it's basically the boys. It's like the way it's gone.
We've had unintentionally unorthodox punishments because of the strange nature of our house. And so I remember when Trump took office the first time, 2017, we were at the March for Life right after the inauguration. And so Trump's funny, right? So I'm at one of the gift shops at the airport, and there's a Trump candy bar, like this big. I'm like, I'll bring that home for my kid. I remember having to yell at my son, John Paul, eat your dinner. You're not going to get to have your Trump bar.
Yeah, that's the best. Then that's child abuse. The Trump candy bar is true. Because of the sugar? No, because of he's Hitler. The Hitler candy bar. Okay, so yeah, I'm out there alone. Yes, we spanked our kids. Right in. Podcast of 40 days. And they've all turned out totally perfect, unlike your kids. When kids are disappointed or heartbroken.
I think I put this on the outline. I think this is a big millennial point because I think one of the failings, if we're talking about generations on this episode, is millennials I've found in general just don't want their kids to suffer at all. So it's the helicopter parenting, it's the safetyism, it's the just over focus.
Where do you want to eat? It's like a
Yeah.
3-year-old. It's like, what are you talking about? You're dictating the whole group based on this person. They're
Yeah.
going to get a kids menu. They're all the same at every restaurant.
Yeah,
We go wherever
pizza or chicken nuggets.
Yeah, we go wherever we want.
So I think my personal philosophy here is a little more serious than some of the other stuff we've shared. Is as parents, we want to give our kids good things, but sometimes it's not in their best interest. They're irresponsible and they break the toy or lose the toy, and we replace it. I don't know that that's always in their best interest.
Right.
I've described my philosophy to parenting as I want to expose my kids to pain in a controlled environment. And that way they're able to learn responsibility, learn consequences. But when it's all at home, it's before they end up in jail or something to that effect.
Right. Yeah, I think for me, one of the most difficult things that I had to experience recently with this was inflicting the heartbreak on my own kid because she was involved in something that wasn't nice, that involved a little friend across the street, and we canceled her birthday party.
Whoa.
And that was really tough.
You brought the hammer. But
Yes, because I
thought about it.
Well, it was one of those things that I guess on the surface someone would look at it and go, it wasn't really that bad.
How old's the daughter?
She was turning 10.
Oh, gosh.
Yep.
So this is a birthday party.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was my husband and I were looking at it more like long term in terms of building her character and how it would impact her if we didn't do something very drastic.
Totally the right thing.
And yet it wasn't like, it's one of those things I look back and I'm like, I don't regret that.
No, it was a great decision. But you're giving me flack for spanking my kid. Cancel a 10-year-old birthday. Rip her heart out, throw it on the street. No, that's a tough one.
I think it broke our hearts
Well,
more than it broke hers.
But here's what it does, and this is another thing, and Mary Lisa's definitely stricter than me with stuff. So we balance each other. I'm not like the pushover, except probably with the girls. But we're a lot of like. We're a lot alike. She's not like, oh, you're too hard on him or you're too strict on him. She's really strict. And what that does, that was the end of idle threats from you. Mm-hmm. Like, you canceled my 10. So when they're a teenager or whatever, mom's crazy, and that goes a long way. And also the real actual consequences of something when you mess up. So I think the idle threat thing, we just have friends and they're like, well, you don't cut that out. You're not having a cookie. And we all know the kid's getting 10 cookies. It doesn't matter what the parents say.
Well,
and
he earned it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saying that as though that doesn't happen in my house.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. Stay in your room, means stay in your room. Clean up your mess means clean up your mess. There has to be that. Like, saying no to mom is just the worst thing you can do. Mm-hmm. Like, you wish that you never said it. So not like we're beating the kids, but that there has to be real consequences. And your 10th birthday is like the best birthday ever. It's like the greatest thing.
It was hard for us to do that.
It's
it was
good.
The best thing.
I bet it was. And that's the worst is when you have to bring the heartache. Because when you look at this, when kids are disappointed or heartbroken, how do you handle it? Ours are, we've had, you have friends with drama with the teenage girls, just all that, the mean girl thing. We've had a couple of breakups. One was, she broke up with all of them. She's never been dumped, but
Undefeated.
yes, self-inflicted, I guess. But
number one in the power rankings.
that just, yeah, exactly. But just that whole thing of
Now
like,
that I think about it.
yeah, of just, I think one of my kids, now they're doing great, but they really struggled in math and were working hard at it. I think that was hard, really hard. And I just think being a cheerleader, because all of these, one of the things that I'm trying to be intentional about and is somewhat natural, because Mary Lisa and I get along and we're fun people according to us, but just having a joyful atmosphere at home where you're comfortable. And you're comfortable when you mess up, and you're comfortable when you succeed. And it's just, this is it. We tell our kids all the time, this is all you have, like for your whole life. No matter what happens, you can come home. You can be yourself. You may have jobs or coworkers or future neighbors or who knows, in your life. But this is where you can always just be yourself and relax. And we've always tried to create that atmosphere. And it has to be built on trust and honesty. I think that's why, too, flipping out over every little thing, you're crying wolf, because your kid's going to have a real problem. It's not going to be spilled milk. It's going to be an actual problem, and they've got to be able to come to you and talk to you about it. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, and in that instance with her, she was heartbroken. She was disappointed mostly in herself, for the choice that she made. But then following that with a lot of love and compassion, understanding. So it's like, yes, we've punished you, and yes, you're disappointed and heartbroken, and we're the bad guys. But at the same time, we also are here to comfort you and tell you everything's going to be okay.
Kids are slow to forgive themselves. They're quick to make excuses, but then when they actually are contrite, they're slow to forgive themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I hate when I have to get on to a child on principle, but I don't think that it was a big deal. But I know, like, I'm their father. If I don't correct this is my fault. But they're like really sweet, and the kids dote on me. This is one of the problems. All the kids kind of dote on me, except for Seamus, because he's a 17-year-old dude. So he's like, "You suck," or whatever. But they're the girls especially, like, you just totally. So whenever I have to get on them, particularly like the little girls, it's just like the worst thing ever. But I'll still do it. there was something you said. Oh, also by doing all of that and then, tearing down and building up, just being honest with them, not talking to kids like they're adults, but talking to them as not even as equals, but with respect, like telling them the way things are without sounding like a ranting 82-year-old man who's mad about the state of the country, but just being honest with them. And this is what happens, and this is why we do this, and having substantive conversations. I didn't realize it, and part of it's, I guess, because of my radical job, but we would talk about heavy topics or just real topics, family, the state of the church, dating, abortion, whatever. We would talk about it at their appropriate age, not when they're like 4. But I think that really created, it helps them be a good judge of character. It also gives them like the confidence to have conversations with other adults that you're talking about substantive things. It's not just like, so what grade are you in? And I think that's really important. And somebody else is eventually going to talk to them about it, so you might as well do it. Okay. Number 4, the parenting moments that make or break you. When it's time to pray.
So often when you hear about young adults who are strong in their faith, it comes back to a parent figure. Usually the father, actually, the science, the social side. We follow the science. It says that the fathers have the greatest impact on the faith lives of their children.
And if the dad isn't around or is a loser, it's a problem. It is, how many priests or sermons or just, Jordan Peterson talks about that all the time. Just the dad's it. It's on you. It's on you. You're always going to have your mom. You're always going to have the love of your mother. You're always going to be very comfortable around your mom. But if dad's gone, you're finished. And if you flip that and you're half decent or, a superstar father, it's just going to go so well and make life so easy. So I think it's great. And I think having that relationship, you have a different relationship with every individual kid. But I can just sit here, with a 20-year-old down to a 5-year-old and to a certain level. I don't know Timothy's level of respect for me as he's in kindergarten. But all of my kids respect me and like to make fun of me. And I express love, Steve, you'll be glad to hear this, by making fun of people. And so there is that kind
Touched.
I'm very moved and getting emotional.
He must love you a lot, Steve.
That's right. Yeah, most of the time. But that, I love that, like that we have this environment. And so, I don't know.
I feel like if we're not making fun of each other in our home, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and how the kids treat each other. Like, it's really, really beautiful and funny. And our teenagers interacting, our older kids the college girls wanting to come home, and one she was going to go to this a party with some of her old high school friends, and they invited her, and she's like, no, I want to get to the airport and get home so I can see the little kids before they go to bed. Like, I miss my little siblings. All that's so great. It's so great. So, but you got to have that comfort level in your house. Can't be like walking on eggshells. I didn't cover any of the when it's time to pray, but
well, we got some statistics here. We've been telling a lot of funny stories, but 73% of adults who grew up in a Catholic home in which religion was very important to the family remain Catholic. The number drops to just 38% for those who say religion was not too important or not important at all to their families growing up. For Protestants, 89%, that's a huge number. That's
great.
89% of adults who grew up Protestant in a home in which religion was very important remain Protestant. That number drops to 67%. Still pretty good, but a dramatic drop off. 60% if religion was rarely discussed. We've got a quote here from the Christian philosopher J.P. Moreland, who said, "If you're an atheist, I'll bet you a steak dinner that you've had authority issues with a father figure."
Wow, that's kind of a bold projection.
Yeah.
If you're like a trust issue.
I guess so, or just you resent authority.
But that's okay. I believe the quote. I'm not giving this guy flack. But if you're an atheist, that's if you're a blank. I mean, if you're just fill in the blank.
Something negative?
Drugs, promiscuous,
Okay.
broke, no friends, can't hold a job, can't keep a girlfriend, commitment issues. I mean, there's just a lot of that. There's, so I don't know. We have a lot of boys who never had a man in their life. Did you treat your boys, were you harder on your boys than your girls?
My daughters say that I am. I mean, no, sorry.
Your
reverse.
sons.
You
My-
say so.
You say so.
I was thinking about the reverse, how my daughters say I'm more lenient with the sons than I am with the daughters.
Mary Lisa says I'm way harder on the boys and the older kids
Yes.
than the younger kids. And we both agreed we're harder on you just learn too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
You mess up a lot with the older
but
ones.
we were like 27 with the older kids, and we're 37 or 43 now with the little ones now. So it's just birth order matters. That's a common phrase in our house.
Growing up, my brother and I, my parents were stricter with us than with my little brother Cameron, who's 10 years behind me. And we would just kind of hammer my parents on this. Oh, you let him get away with that. Well, you'd have killed us for that. We'd have been grounded. And they'd always deny it, and we'd always press. And finally, one day, my dad just goes, look, you're right. I'm old. I'm tired. Get over it.
I love it. I've used that line, except I'm probably too young to be saying that. But yeah, it's 100% true.
It is true.
And they're like, we're gonna come home and Timothy's just gonna have like a 6-pack of beer and some cigarettes, and I'm like, probably.
Better share.
Am I joining them? Yeah, it's just so funny. So yeah, but Mary Lisa says I'm definitely harder on the boys than the girls, and that's the way it should be. Like, I'm not woke. I'm not treating everybody the same as if girls are boys and boys are girls and all that. It's like the boys, there's also a love language that's just different.
No matter what my girls do, if they give me a cute face, I'm like, I need to hand over discipline because I can't do it.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. And there is this natural circle of life that most likely a daughter's taking care of you when you're old.
Okay.
Because it usually goes to the female.
That's true.
And if your sons when your sons get married to a woman, they'll probably take care of her parents or her, and so, and I already know who I'm living with when I'm getting old. So, and I know who I'm not living with. It's like, they'll forget to give me my medicine or something. I'll keel over, get distracted. Okay. You have anything else to add on that? It's interesting with the 38%. So if you practice Catholicism, you're doing good. If you practice your Protestant faith, you're doing good. If you don't and you're Catholic, it's detrimental. Is that the strong symbolism of Catholicism? So many people leave the church because they see that they don't believe it, but there's so much substance there. Like, we have the nice churches, we got the statues, it's all for show. I don't believe any of it. And just naturally, there's less of that in Protestantism.
I think so.
So it's almost less hypocritical in some ways.
I think so.
Yeah, because
You
that's
hear a lot about cultural Catholicism. You don't hear a ton about cultural Protestantism.
cultural Protestant. Yeah, you really don't. The other thing about the Protestant churches, there's so many, you could just switch flavors and be like, well, I grew up Presbyterian or whatever, but now I'm non-denominational, which is a denomination, or I'm Baptist and now I'm this, because I will say, give me a fallen away Protestant every day of the week and twice on Sunday over a fallen away Catholic. Now, sometimes it's the same person, but that's different. Somebody who's raised Protestant and doesn't practice their faith, they're just not as angry as the fallen away Catholic. The fallen away Catholics feel really let down. And maybe that's a backhanded compliment to Catholicism because there's this standard and you didn't live up to it and the hell with you. But the fallen away Catholic is just bitter and angry. Same with the fallen away Jew. Which they all make the best comedians, for sure. I had a conversation with Father Mitch Pacwa about that one time, of why Catholics and Jews are such great comedians, especially if they don't practice their faith. there's a cynicism there that's funny, but that's also very real, and I guess that's how you get, Bill Maher and Jerry Seinfeld.
Larry David.
Larry David. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh, like he's horrible. Not oh my gosh, like I like him. Okay. When it's time to work, this is so great. Just give them something to do. Give them some, and my kids now know. Hopefully, there's no like 40 Days for Life team members that feel this way too. But the kids know, like, if we're around Dad and idle, he's gonna point to something and have us do something. Because the whole like nobody says I'm bored anymore. Because if you say I'm bored, I'm like, go get the toilet brush and clean the downstairs bathroom, and it's like, oh man, I really wasn't bored. So yeah, give them work to do. My 10-year-old Declan's our hardest worker. He's 10, and you've been to my house, but in our backyard we have a huge fire pit where we have to burn like branches, and we'll burn trash every now and then. But this is all legal. But
I do that in the city. That's how
right.
redneck I am.
That's right. Pour some oil on there. Let's have a fire.
I paid $8 more a year. I could get the bigger recycling bin, but no, I'm not doing it on principle.
Yeah. We burn a lot. We had this 9-year-old, like we hadn't cleaned out the fire pit, so the ashes just build up. So and Declan never minds work, but I was like, he's gonna, which I never pay him for anything, but I thought, should I give him like $10 or something? But we get shovels. We have to load dig out the fire pit, load it in my truck, take it to another piece of the property and dump it, and that's it. It's like going to be real work, and it's 100 degrees, and he just does it and never complained about it. And I was like, we're doing man's work or something, and he's like, it reminds me of holes. Have they had to read that book, your kids?
It's one of our favorite quotes.
Isn't it a prison book?
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. But aren't they in prison or something?
Yeah, they're like juvie. Yeah.
And he's saying it like a positive. It was like holes. Because I said something like, the reference doesn't work, because I'm like, yeah, this is like Cool Hand Luke or something, but he hasn't seen that. And so he's like, yeah, it's like holes. Like, I feel like I'm in a boot.
Shut up and keep digging.
Yeah, shut up and keep digging. It's like, don't tell your friends that.
Shawshank Redemption.
The Shawshank Redemption. I escaped. My childhood was like the Shawshank Redemption, except I didn't have a kind, gentle black man to get me through it. Oh my gosh. Okay. What's your thing about work? Do you have chores?
Yes. Yeah, there's routine ones, and then there's just, hey, look, the family needs you, so get up and lend a hand on the miscellaneous topic.
You have been drafted in
Yes.
the third round to take out the trash.
Some of them are totally cool with it, and some of them look like you just canceled their birthday party.
Do some kids do more than others?
Yeah.
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 It's not even close.
Well, yes, because some of them are still little, so
Well,
they're
but
not capable of doing everything.
but the
that
will
the other ones can do.
But the disposition to help can be at any age.
Yes.
My daughter Teresa will keep score on everything. She could be playing the entire day and then is asked to do one thing. Like, well, did John Paul do anything? I didn't. This isn't about John Paul.
Yeah. Yep.
Even one time, Bailey, who's very critical and is more like a firstborn, even though she's a secondborn, like publicly acknowledged, she's like, Seamus does everything. I mean, Seamus mows the grass. Okay. And Seamus just does. Seamus puts together the new bookshelf. And he doesn't complain about it. And Bailey was like, Seamus does everything. Bridget and I contribute nothing to society. And I was like, amen. So
Mine have reached the age now where they're like, is there anything I can do for like $5?
yeah. Oh. There's a contract.
Because there's no money involved in the chores.
Yeah.
And so if there's, if they want to buy something like something like having to do like a Roblox or whatever that is, I don't know, some game, and it's like, Mom, is there something I can do for $5? Like any additional work? And I'm like, yeah, there's plenty to do.
See, most of my
Always
kids,
something to do.
Most of my kids would look towards scripture for inspiration in that, can I be the last guy in the vineyard and still get paid as much as the first guy?
And then you have like the big quarterly chores that build up, like cleaning in the garage. Just like this monumental thing. And it's like, where does all this stuff? And then the garage looks so amazing. But no, overall, they don't complain. I just think work is so important. And then our teenagers have gotten summer jobs and all of that. Listening to an authority that's not you which if they go to school, they certainly get at school, which is great. You get at sports. My 10-year-old's basketball coach just like unloaded on them the other day about how they're a waste of time and they're not putting any effort. I sat there and just loved every second of it, and it's great. So you kind of need that, and having other people support your kids and brag on them and, dote on them and give them compliments. So yeah, the chores. Okay. How we treat our spouses. This is actually where I would get really mad. Like my job is to make mom happy in life. You live here for a certain period of time for 18 years, okay? But you're a visitor in that process because we got married in 2004 before you existed. We're going to be together until death when no one else lives in this house but the two of us. So you will treat mom being unhappy because of you puts you on my bad list, okay? So I don't get mad a lot, but when I've gotten mad and had to just call a kid out, it is outward disrespect to mom when I know mom's already stressed. That's just a zero policy axis of evil. If you're not with us, you're against us. We're coming after you. Our job is to kill the terrorists. And so that's just where I'm going, scorched earth. And so
I hear you, the world hears you, and the people who spilled this milk are all going to hear you.
People who spilled this milk are all going to hear you. Oh my gosh. Those idiots elected a Muslim mayor after that. So anyways, but yeah, you have to absolutely treat mom well. And I think that I know now that my daughters are older, they noticed that, and it was great. And it's like, that's what I want in a man. That's what I want in a husband. It drives me crazy when I see kids run over a mom and a dad just stand there. Because that's where the feminists are right. It is all on her.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything. Mm-hmm. He's too lazy to be the disciplinarian.
At this point, you might as well be a single mom.
Exactly, which is the hardest thing. I think, well, I don't know, but there are some families like that where I'm like, I think she kind of runs the house and he does whatever he wants, and I don't want that. And it's not fair. And I like doing dishes. I like, willing to discipline the kids when they need it and, help the trains run on time and all that good stuff. But without a doubt, Mary Lisa is running our house and our schedules. I'm clueless. I can't remember anything. We have to have a meeting every night so I know who has practice and all that stuff.
There's that Nate Bargatze comedian, and he's got a line where the school called to find out something about the kid's schedule or field trip or whatever. He's like, why would you call me? I'm the dad.
Yeah.
Like you could ask somebody random off the street. They're going to have a better chance of knowing than I will.
That's so true. Yeah. Well, what's hard for us is like, your daughter's teacher. And it's like, Miss Sander? Like, no. Because that's like the teacher from 2 kids ago. Oh, she still teaches kindergarten?
We're really bad about micromanaging that sort of thing because I manage things except for sports. And my husband is the one who knows when practice is, where they're playing, because I defer to him all the time. Like, who's playing tomorrow? Where are we playing? Who are we playing? All of that, because I feel like in those moments I just show up. I just show up to the game because I have no idea when practice is and who's practicing what and where the game is.
It's hard.
I defer all sports to my husband.
Yeah.
He's in charge of that, and then I'm in charge of all the other things.
And vice versa for us, because my travel schedule is crazy and schedule in general is crazy. And this is where I thank God for iPhones. Mm-hmm. Because Mary Lisa and I will email each other. She'll email me the school stuff for the calendar so I can just hit the button and then it adds it to my calendar, and I do it for travel. If I respond to like Dawn or Glory or somebody, if I'm going somewhere, I just add Mary Lisa onto the email so she knows I'm going, yep. And then she can just click it and it's on her schedule. That would be really hard without an iPhone.
I kick it old school with my dry erase calendar.
You have a paper?
No, I have a dry erase calendar in the kitchen, and that's where I keep everything, all of my travels, so that everybody can see.
That's kind of smart.
But I just like the writing things down like that.
That's really good. Well, Mary
the kids
Lisa
can see it.
Yeah.
Everybody can see what's going on.
We should do that for my travel, because Mary Lisa gets pounded with 10,000 questions. Where's Dad going? Where's he going? When's he coming back? You know, and so.
And that's what I put. I'm like, to wherever, Ohio or Minnesota, and then I just mark it off, and then everybody can see it's visible.
That's good, because Laura asks me, what time are you flying out tomorrow?
I don't know.
I don't think it's first thing. I'd know that.
Yeah, you just look like the night
Yeah,
before.
you just show up when you show up. Yep.
This is really good. The important to see us apologize and forgive, not just to each other, it's like spouses, but twice in my life, and one was really recently, I got onto a child who was 100% innocent, not like OJ innocent, but actually innocent, and I was wrong. It was really, I didn't spank him or anything, now that the audience thinks I'm Mike Turner, but I was just wrong. I got really onto him verbally. Mm-hmm. And then like one of the other kids was like, Dad, that actually, they didn't do that. It wasn't that somebody else did. I forget. It was like a mix up of like, I thought they did something they didn't do. So I was like, that's really, really bad. And I sent them to their room. They were in their room crying. Innocent.
Pretty sure I've done that a few times, but apologized.
Yeah. But it's scarier when it's your dad.
Yeah.
And so I went out.
I don't know. I'm pretty scary, they say.
Okay. It was Dad. It was our 10-year-old. So I went in and I apologized. And I said, I was really wrong. And I said, I'm going to have to mention this in confession. This was really wrong. I didn't even think about it. I just got mad and got onto you. And I'm really, really sorry. And I need you to forgive me. And I said, do you understand it's not okay for me not to come here and apologize? I said, because I could have sent you to your room and then cleaned the kitchen. And then an hour later, like, it would have been okay, right? And he's like, yeah. I was like, we would have like watched the Cowboys and it would have been fine. He's like, yeah. I said, but that wouldn't have been okay of me to do. I needed to apologize to you. And so I think that that's really, really important, because as parents, we really only want to be right on like 3 things. And just if they accept those 3 things, then great. You know, we've done our jobs. But if we never say sorry, it just crushes our credibility.
And to this point, they learn that from us too. You know, from spouses, from husbands and wives being able to apologize to each other when we've been wrong to each other. So much that they're watching us do as husband and wife, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah. It's not a soft thing either. I think this is different for parents our age than it was. This is where I have some compassion on the boomers. Their parents never apologized to them. Mm-hmm. They never talked to them a lot of times, and they never said, I love you, or, you know, that's just, not all of them, but there was a lot of just like, yep, good, you're good, great. And then you move on.
Yep.
And there's a lot of merit to that occasionally, but that's not great overall. But the idea of apologizing when you're actually wrong, not like overdoing it and sitting down and being like, I'm really sorry I didn't let you have a cookie, but you have to understand, not that garbage. But when you're really wrong.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you just get the natural tension of mom and dad blow a gasket. It's kind of weird for 30 minutes and then everything's normal. And that's fine, you know, but it's not what it could be, you know? So, all right. How do we respond to opportunities for service to God and neighbor? This is a tough one. Because having a lot of kids, having any kids at all, you have to teach them to serve, but you can't run around and do everything. You'll go nuts.
Right.
And I think this is hard for a lot of people. And we run an organization that asks people to volunteer, right? And a lot of our volunteers are empty nesters or people that volunteer for a certain season and then it ends. I mean, that's the good thing about 40 Days for Life. It has a beginning and an end. But teaching your kids to serve in some capacity without busybodies.
Especially since we kind of live in an environment where even service has been translated into, I do this so that I can get into college, so I can get a National Honor Society. I hate that stuff. I don't think any school should require a service hours to graduate. You should do it out of love, not out of personal gain.
We can't even go near this for my psychosis.
Okay.
I have 1,000 rants about forced service hours that are awful. I gotta stop talking.
If my kids are doing mandatory service, it's because it was part of their sentencing.
Yeah. That's how we roll.
I have a little bit of wisdom about this. So, you know, like you said, they're busy living lives. We shouldn't force them to do service things, right? Like it's one of those situations where, again, they're observing what we're doing. And I think what we're already doing is huge, and how we're living our lives is huge. And one of the things that I witnessed in my son, which was amazing, it was just like one of those proud mama moments.
Oh.
I was actually.
Is he the one that got the canceled 10-year birthday?
No, that's the daughter. That's the daughter.
We need a positive story about her. Then she climbed up in that clock tower. Had her some fun.
There's lots
You
of
canceled
positives.
my 10-year-old birthday party.
She's got some positive stuff.
All right.
But this was a situation where I was.
Does she have a bumper sticker that says "Keep honking, I'm reloading"? Sorry, I got you.
I love it.
Okay.
So I was actually kicking off a 40 Days for Life campaign in Arkansas before I joined with 40 Days.
Okay.
And the option for my son, he was going to be celebrating his 10th birthday. There's some kind of something with the number 10.
This is y'all just need to go
it
from
was
9 to
his
11.
Right, we should just
Skip 10.
No, but this is a good one. So he was turning 10, and I was like, "Do you want this coincides with your birthday, so I can either decline and not go, or I can go and you could go with me." So he went with me. And then everyone found out that it was his birthday.
Oh, cool.
And so this was I was giving 2 presentations, English and Spanish. So this was the Spanish night. So this full church full of Hispanic people, they found out it was his birthday officially that day.
Was there like
everybody
a
was singing
tamale situation?
Mañanitas. They brought him a tres leches cake.
Yes.
Like he
Okay.
ended up making out with $100.
Whoa.
Everybody was giving him money. Because
This is
he was
crazy.
he's the first of our conversion babies. So he was just like
Those poor other
so like
kids.
that was part of the story. And so he was like so excited. Well, anyway, he's like, "I know what I want for my birthday." So I took him to Target. He was like some sort of video game or something.
Okay.
I don't remember. Well, we are leaving the parking lot, and there's a homeless woman on the corner. And she's said she's lost, her car and broke down, blah, blah, blah. She's homeless, right? Or not homeless, but she's carless. And she's looking for help. And he, out of his goodness of his own heart, no prompting at all, takes out $20 of his birthday money. And he said, "Here, Mom, give this to her."
Wow.
And I was just like, "Oh
You're
my God."
bawling.
I'm just gonna cry.
It's not even a tithe. He doubled the tithe. That's 20% of his income from this Fayetteville trip.
And I remember going, "Are you sure?"
Right.
And he's like,
You want to make change?
"Yeah," because he felt so blessed from what
Yeah.
he received that he wanted to bless this woman. And of course, she was like, "God bless you, son. You're such a sweet," and I was like, "Oh, I'm so happy right now." But again, because my kids see me do it all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's just one of those things where they witness mom giving people money. Like even my little girl, I remember once there was this woman that approached me in the parking lot at a gas station, and I'm a sucker for giving people money. And my husband's always like, "Honey, they're kind of scamming you, right?" And I'm like, "I don't care. That's between them and God."
Yeah.
And my youngest daughter, who's 7, at the time she was probably like 4, and she goes, "Mom, I don't think she's telling you the truth." Like on her own.
Like on her own.
Yes, yeah. So it's I think this is important because our kids see what we do. They're watching what we do.
I think my kids learned that from their mom as well. Probably not from me, not so much. But my son was out with a buddy, and they found this old lady just walking through downtown. Just looked. So they stopped to see if she needed help, and it was like when Happy Gilmore's grandma, they escaped from the nursing home or whatever. So Peter went and he takes her back to the nursing home. There's nobody there. They call the emergency number. Nobody answers. So they take her to a room and they figure out that it was her birthday that day. And she had gone out for a birthday walk. And that also is how they got into her phone and were able to call her son and make sure that she was okay.
So she was she was in the nursing home?
She was, but they found her a mile away. She'd broken out and nobody knew she was gone.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's sweet.
Yeah. I just like I think what I like was the imagery of a couple of 18-year-old boys helping this lady back. They could have just gone on to whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's great. These are great moments of just, that can, and in the end, you're just doing your best. I think parents are too hard on themselves. I think like most things in America, we overanalyze everything, and you just love your kids, give them attention.
And love and forgive yourself too as a parent.
Yeah.
Because we make mistakes too.
Because real life isn't Instagram. It's going to be messy. That's kind of the point of it.
No, and I think, and we've talked about this a lot, of just not being on your phone in the presence of your kids when you're, when it's not appropriate, and just talking to them and asking them questions and paying attention. I did forever ago read a book. I read Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters, which is a great book. It's a great pro-life book. Meg Meeker, she's Catholic.
I've read that as well.
That's a good book. Just a good parenting book. I guess that's technically the only parenting book I've ever read. So they had one for sons. Forget that. So I'm harder on the boys. But yeah, I just think that the attention factor, because she's got so many stats in there. And that book, it's like showing a bad kid The Exorcist.
Yeah.
As like a scare tactic. You keep it up, you're going to end up possessed by a demon. Okay? And it's kind of like that, of they just, as a young dad, I read it in my 20s, you're just terrified your daughter's going to run off and you'll never see her again because she shares all these stats. And you're like, but all I did was tell her to eat her broccoli, But it's very practical.
The big takeaway from that one from me is the inverse correlation between you hug your daughter and promiscuity later in life.
100%. 100%. There's just such a correlation of, I have a dad who loves me, and therefore I'm not going to, sleep with the football team. So that wasn't her exact wording in it, but she had a lot of data, break that down.
It was enough to scare Sean.
It was enough, yes. And I ended up not sleeping with the football team. It was really great. So I'm just trying to make Steve uncomfortable.
Well, mission accomplished.
We got Ramon in this episode. Oh, man. Okay, so here's a review. The spilled milk moments, when the kids misbehave, when the kids are disappointed or heartbroken, when it's time to pray, when it's time to work, how we treat our spouses, and how we respond for opportunities to serve God and neighbors. So thank you. Great outline. Hope this was helpful. Please email us at podcast@40daysforlife.com, or post on the YouTube page any of your comments or suggestions of how we can all be better parents in 2025 and beyond. And please also leave what age you think Elaine is, who wrote in, and a very mysterious but insightful email. So, and be sure to write your emails and your feedback, and maybe we'll read, if it's appropriate, we will read it on the air. So please rate, review, and share this podcast, and we will see you next time. God bless you.